Hi, hi, hi. Welcome to today's Daily Divine, here to support our soul shine. My name's Lisa Lyle. This is my channel here on YouTube. A very warm welcome back to all of you who are coming back home. And of course, a very warm welcome home to those of you who are new. How we all doing as we connect today? There's just like a little time shift there. It is the 7th of October. So let's get this Palo Santo going and tune into the energy today. Sorry about my bedhead. Oh gosh, life these days is hectic. And I will tell you, I am really looking forward to 11 p.m. this evening because my weekend starts. Hey, Miss Dawn, how's it going? Oh, what a time, what a time. What a time to be alive, born to shine. Anyways, I'd like to just ask at this time that I'm a clear and pure channel to bring through messages from Source Divine, loving, and kind. So, yes. Oh, baking bread. Nice. Yes, today's my Friday, and I'm looking forward to baking something tomorrow and the next day, and really just getting organized here. My deep desire is to create a space for all of us that's very, what do I want to say? Very comforting, very homey, as well as a very healing energy. And if you could see around me right now, it is just stuff everywhere. And my goal in the next 2 days is to really get this moved out of the healing room. And we'll come in here for some, sound baths and stuff like that. But I really want to keep this place very, very zen, and it doesn't feel very zen to me right now. Let me just turn the light on in here. It feels a little dark. Okay, so let's just pull some cards. Oh goodness. Okay, so let's just pull some cards and tap in to the energies right now. And they are rather intense. And I'm sure a lot of readers say the same thing, and it's going to continue to be said because things aren't going to calm down. I'm so happy to have someone catching me live, Dawn. It's today is the first day of the rest of this our daily connections, more routine, and I'm really looking forward to it. Can you hear that wind? You may not be able to hear it. The wind is whipping. It's actually quite chilly out today. Okay, so this really feels right, and this is probably exactly right where we are. Do you hear it? Oh my gosh. Oh. So this is right where we are. First quarter moon. We've just had our new moon a couple days ago. The new moon with the eclipse, right? And here we're being told our commitment is being tested. And so, in the midst of all of this, and I know everybody has their own, all of this, their own stuff going on. We may feel, and we may feel like, oh my gosh, why am I doing this? Is this, wow. Is this ever going to end? Or am I ever going to clear all this clutter? And the answer is yes. Stay the course your heart has chosen. Continue to do the things that are creating more space for you in your life, more clarity. And so, one of the things I've been able to do while not able to clear all this clutter while working and all the other commitments and things that we each have going on in our life, one thing I have been able to do for myself is to show up for myself. And I do this, throughout the day, and particularly at the end of the day. I'm a bit of a night owl and an early bird. So I tend, for most of my life, tend to burn the candle at both ends, which, really isn't ideal. And so what I've been doing in the last few days is when I come home from the job, I literally, do what I need to do with the animals, just tidy up the kitchen, and then I go to my room. Whether or not I go right to sleep, it doesn't really matter. I'm in there. I'm signaling to my body it's time to unwind. And last night, not the night before, but last night I had a fantastic sleep. So if you feel like your commitment is being tested and you're not sure if what you're doing is working out for you, this is saying, yes, it is. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself right before the miracle happens or right before the shift takes place, because you have to remember, we're energetic. Everything's always moving. Energy's always flowing. And sometimes, humans, we have this idea, instant gratification. And it's really because of the world that we live in, right? We can type something in and, oh, there's the answer right at our fingertips. Back in the day, we used to have to pull out the Encyclopedia Britannica. I miss those days. Things aren't instantaneous, though. It does take time. And particularly for those of us who are doing the inner work, we're taking the deep dive inside, we're sifting through everything that we find in there to find the treasure. It takes time. And when we have sifted through and we've created space within our vessel, there's a period of integration, and too many people forget that there is a time of integration, a time where we just have to allow ourselves to get comfortable with how we're feeling, with the new space we've created. And then, go to the library. Remember the Dewey Decimal System? That's how we learned back in the day, the Dewey Decimal System in the library. So be patient with yourself and do not give up on yourself. Trust your intuition and trust the purity of your heart to guide the way, to lead you forward each and every day. Because this is, first of all, it's a number 13. We'll get to that in a moment. This is about free will choices. This is the solar plexus. We've been focused a lot on our personal power, and our solar plexus is the home of our personal power. It's the inner sunshine. It is either ego-driven, edging God out, or we could say edging goodness out, or it is spirit-guided, trusting our gut instincts, trusting what we know, and taking action according to the truth that we know. That wind is howling. 13 is the number of the divine feminine. So we are being guided and supported by our feminine essence. And if you were here yesterday, I was saying how the right side of my body feels really out of whack. I'm feeling a lot of tension, a lot of discomfort through the right side. And there's a myriad of reasons why. And one, I always bring it back to the spiritual. What is this trying to say to me? What is this trying to show me? And the right side of our body is the masculine side of the body. It is what we give away each and every day, who we're giving to, who we're serving. And the left is the receptive energy, the feminine energy. Are we allowing ourselves to receive the support that's there for us? So I suspect at this time, the feminine essence, the divine mother energy is coming in to help us balance. And we are in Libra season, and Libra is about balance, harmony, justice, all of this kind of stuff. So are you allowing yourself to be guided by your fears, or are you allowing yourself to be guided by your hopes, wishes, and dreams? Go for the hopes, wishes, and dreams. And that's going to help balance out. And yet we must be willing to accept and even ask for help, right? So then we get the nothing will come of this situation, void of course moon. And what I'm hearing is if we keep trying to push things, if we keep trying to push ourselves beyond, if we keep trying to rush the process, we are going to end up back at square one, and perhaps even further down. Perhaps, the ladder has fallen and we're on the ground. So this is about not pushing. And if you had a particular situation, or if there's something in particular going on that's been lingering in your experience for, the last few months, perhaps this is a message for you that it's truly time to let it go and allow the divine to show you a better way. Allow the divine to guide you each and every day. Yes. Hi, Felix. Welcome. Yeah. It's funny. Has anyone ever seen salmon swimming upstream to spawn? I mean, it is a harrowing thing to witness, right? They're fighting, the current's coming, it's coming at them, and they are going, going, going. They get knocked back a lot. Eventually, they make it to wherever they're going to spawn. They lay their eggs, and then they usually die because of I guess, just the journey. I think that's the cycle of their life, actually. So for us humans, when we're pushing and when we're pushing, it's usually because we're trying to force our will on something, whether it's people, places, or things, situations in our life. And when we can just settle into the flow, and if we don't know what the flow is, work with your breath, because our breath flows. Yes, it's a very traumatic journey for them. You probably know way more about that than I do, Dawn. But like, I've witnessed it, and it's like, oh my goodness, those salmon, come on, I'm rooting for the salmon. And yet, there must be a better way. There must be a better way, yet they've been doing it for, yeah. And we don't need to fight. Like, this is, my vision of the world is heaven on earth, where all boys and girls, all children of light, all children of God are living lives of delight, knowing that as they are worthy and valuable and needed in this world. And I truly believe as a collective, we are failing. As parents, as teachers, well, it's a consciousness, right? I'm here to talk about the Christ consciousness, and, woke is the joke these days. And the joke is on us because we've really lost our connection to source. And any man who thinks that, this big bang and we just arrived here on earth is kind of, I'm not going to say. I believe in a consciousness that is a loving creator source of all of us. And I'm not going to really, we make ourselves suffer, right? Like, this is the reality. Everyone wants to blame God for the suffering. Everyone wants to blame everybody and point fingers. And ultimately, humans, HUEMANS, are responsible for our own suffering, because we have severed our connection to the natural world. We have severed our connection. Felix, we're not going to debate that. I'm not going to get into a fight with you about things. There's a reason that you landed on this channel, and I have a belief in a creator, mother, father, God, source, and it's all within us. And humans are ridiculous, and humans have actually, over time, unfortunately, instead of elevating their consciousness to the consciousness of Christ, Christ, not a man. Christ is a consciousness, a universal consciousness within us all, and it's up to us. And we just got a horn to confirm that. It's up to us to reawaken to our own inner power and to stop giving our power away. Humans have been traumatized, humans have been abused for generations of time. And as such, we have continued to perpetuate the abuse and trauma by our unwillingness, our ego, our unwillingness to do something different, our unwillingness to take responsibility for our lot in life. There's a certain amount of time in our life that we can say, yeah, it's because of this, this, and that. And at some point, we must step up and take responsibility for where we're at. And so, telling me to learn my history is a little ridiculous because I'm pretty clear on things, but thank you. And thanks for showing up today and, initiating some stimulating conversations. So we are each responsible for our experience, and we can keep talking about 269 years ago. We can talk about 2069 years ago. And at the end of the day, here we are in 2024. And what are we going to do? What are we going to do? Continue to give our power away, continue to be angry at the wrong people instead of awakening to the divinity, the consciousness that resides within us. That's my choice. And I trust we all choose what's right for us. And then we get the nourishment card. And this is exactly what we were speaking about earlier. How are the ways, in what ways can we show up for ourselves each and every day? 7 is all about the physical body, right? So how are you nourishing yourself? What are you feeding yourself? What are you watching? What are you listening to? What are you drinking? What are you smoking? What are you doing on a daily basis that supports your physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being? Keep doing those things. If the things you're doing, if you're living in negativity, if you refuse to take the blinders off and see beyond what you believe, and remember, in the word believe is the word lie. Do you have faith in yourself? Do you believe that you are worthy and deserving of all good things? Or are we going to perpetuate, the issues? And identifying as an Acadian, my family comes from the South Shore of Nova Scotia here in Canada. Lots of Acadians. Cape Breton Island and the Cabot Trail, full of Acadians. And at the end of the day, more than an Acadian, more than a white woman, more than anything else, we are human. And this is what has been lost through all these barriers between us. If I could reach out and hug Felix, I'd reach out and hug you, Felix. You too, Dawn. Because we, as humans, we crave this connection. And there has been so much trauma that has separated us. I mean, they still use all these things, right? Every life matters if you're Indigenous. Black lives matter if you're Black. It's ridiculous. And it's more ways to keep us separated. Honestly, we must rise as a collective of humanity, brothers and sisters, and awaken to the consciousness that resides within by healing our trauma. And, someone took their thumbs up away. Hey, no takebacks. There it is. It's up to us to, if we continue to identify with the things that happen to us, chances are we're never going to elevate beyond the things that have happened to us. If we choose to take responsibility for how we feel in the here and now about the things that happen to us, we are going to experience healing in our life. We're going to experience more interconnectedness with one another. And so it's really up to us to nourish ourselves. Fruits, veggies. Here in my part of the world, Canada, we are moving into, well, we're in autumn. And, this is the time of comfort foods, right? The root vegetables, the tubers, the real nourishing casseroles and crock pots. So really see what you can do on a daily basis. Make one change every day that supports you in feeling more nourished and supported, because nothing is yet set in stone. We keep getting these cards that continue to show up for us every time we connect, and this is one of them. Nothing is set in stone. It's up to us. We can sit back and we can go, oh, I'm just going to allow destiny to play out. This is a fated event. When what we should be doing is going for what our heart wants and really making the effort to turn events in our favor, right? Because the whole entire loving universe, Mother, Father, God, Creator, Source, loves us and wants us to have this experience of heaven on earth, wants us to have this experience of joy, less pain, more joy, right? Yet humans seem to be really comfortable in the pain. Well, they're actually not comfortable. We can see it in the world. But really, I don't want to change. It's too much effort. No one wants to make an effort these days. And as a result, that's, your life is what it is. When we're consciously making an effort to show up for ourselves, when we're constantly walking the path of personal responsibility, then things begin to change and life begins to get better for all of us. Oh my goodness. So, this is really beautiful. And they want that card too. Of course. Okay. So the first card is the welcome card. Welcome home. 23, it's really interesting that this came out. 23 is my number at 2121 for the divine masculine. So we had the divine mother show up here, and now we've got the divine masculine showing up here. And this is really speaking about balance. And in the middle is us, right? Right side masculine, left side feminine, center is the balance of both within the experience. And so we live in a world at this right now where boys and girls are confused about whether they're boys and girls because nobody's teaching them that we have the essence of both the feminine and masculine within the experience, right? There's nothing wrong with anyone. There's nothing you need to do to change yourself. You don't need to take hormones. You don't need to lop off body parts. You don't need to be something other than you are, which is a beautiful child of God, a beautiful child of light with a heart beating inside your chest. It was 222, 6 twos across the board. This feels very like seasonal where we are now. And, if you're unsure of how to let go, if you're unsure of how to stop pushing, I think we may have lost Felix, but Felix was saying that he wants to stop pushing. In order to do that, we must be willing to be present. We must be willing to show up in the flow with our breath. And if we're still having trouble, get out to nature and watch how nature naturally unfolds. Here, the leaves are starting to turn color and fall off the trees. And it's a really beautiful, they do it with ease. And we could learn a lot from nature. The next card out is perfectly in line with, here we've got power, and here we had will. And 12 is reminding us that we are a channel of light here to harness the power. This is the Queen of the Sun, and this is the Queen of the Sun Oracle. Thank you for the gift, Sweet Pea. I appreciate it. Our power, it's up to us. We have to stop giving our power away. And we do this in so many ways, to the job, to the family, to the partner, to the child, to the this, that, and the other. And then we say, oh, well, I'm suffering because of these things the other did. if you're a consenting adult above the age of 18, you are fully responsible for where you are today. Now, that doesn't mean you're responsible for the trauma that may have been inflicted, the pain that was inflicted, the abuse that you experienced. No, no, no. You're not responsible for the things that happened to us as children. None of us are. We're innocent, pure of heart when we arrive here. And yet we get to a point we can either be, uh, again, if you're watching this, you're the one here to break the cycle through your lineage, your bloodline. We all are. And if we're not going to accept responsibility, we are going to go through life. Yeah, we show up for everything, everyone, and anything other than ourselves most of the time. And Dawn has nailed it on the head. I love you so much. You are brilliant. You know it. Um, yes, we show up for others. We show up for our children. We show up for our parents. We show up for our friends. We show up for our employer. We show up. And then at the end of the day, we wonder why we're so depleted. Why am I so tired? Why am I so, um, you know, what's the word? Disenchanted with life. Well, it's because you're not showing up for yourself. And if you don't show up for yourself and you don't begin to take action to manifest your dreams into your experience, who's going to do it? We have to stop waiting for someone to do it. And I think Felix may have uh, assumed that when I say God, I'm speaking of God of religion. I'm truly not, because religion was just another system created by man to enslave humanity, Humanity. And so I'm not speaking of that God. I'm speaking of the consciousness. I am speaking of the light that shines within each of us as perfectly divine children of Source. And, it's really, it's sad that I'm 54, and it's sad that in my lifetime, I have seen the disconnect more and more through each decade from Source. The disconnect from our own power. Most are willing to be governed in this lifetime. Most are willing to follow the rules, do their taxes, and pay the government. And after they steal from you all year from working, then they tell you you owe them money, and people comply and people pay, and they're sending money away. Look what's happening in the US right now with all those people that suffered in the Carolinas from the hurricane. Like, the US doesn't have any money for them, right? $750, a kick in the teeth, kind of like the 33-cent raise, a kick in the teeth, right? And this is because we have allowed these things. These governments don't care about you, don't care about me, and they squander the money they get. And so stand up for yourself and stop paying into a system that doesn't pay into you, that doesn't serve you. This is our power. And this is the hour that we are called to stand up for ourselves and rise. So I'm going to pull 3 cards to give us some guidance of how we can support ourselves in standing up for ourselves. Welcome home. I'm just really loving that card, like welcome home to you. Stop giving your power away. If you would like to be entered into the free reading giveaway, congratulations to Elaine, who is our most recent winner. And Elaine, I haven't forgotten about you. Tomorrow is my Saturday. So thank you for your patience. If you would like to be a part of that, all you need to do is be a subscriber to this channel. So if you're resonating with anything here, please do subscribe to the channel, and then of course engage in the content. Thumbs up and comments. Every comment will get your name entered into the draw, and tomorrow I'll pick a date. And here's my little basket, and your name stays in there. That's the beautiful thing. So here's the little basket of all the, I'm not even going to look at that. Anyways, I'll pick that up after. So if you'd like to do that, please make sure you're subscribed and then comment on any of the content. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me or an intuitive healing session, please do visit my website. The link is in the description box below. And of course, thank you to all of you who choose to donate to this channel. It supports my ability to continue to do this work, and it just encourages me to keep going. So thank you so much. And all right, let's see. 3 cards to wrap this up. There's one. The 3 of air, doubt. Why do you doubt yourself? Why do you doubt your connection to source? Why do you doubt your ability to show up for yourself in sustainable ways? Why do you doubt the validity of your dreams? Why do you doubt? Why? We can ask ourselves this all the time. And then we get into that 3 energy. 3 is the energy of creation, divine feminine, divine masculine, divine child, which is the embodiment of both. Yet it does require a male and female to come together in this lifetime, the egg and the seed to come together to create life. And so if you're feeling, if you're doubting yourself, if you're confused, I would encourage you strongly to start creating. Create the life you want to live. Don't wait for someone to do it, and don't wait for someone to give you permission to do it. This showed up yesterday as well. This is root chakra stuff. And so I suspect when Felix tells us that, he's Akkadian and 269 years, God made the Akkadians suffer. We're still dealing with this root chakra stuff, unhealed. And through the generations, this is where the trauma and the wounds take place, through the root and sacral chakra, right? Those early years, 0 to 14, birth to 14. And so for some, if you're feeling doubtful and oppressed, it's really time to get to work. It's time to take that journey within. It's not easy. If you need help, reach out. I am a phenomenal shadow worker, which makes me a phenomenal light worker, because we cannot fear the shadow if we believe we are meant to rise. We are here to see beyond the lies. Yes, perfect. Inner strength. 9 of fire, heart's desire. What is it that you would like to see manifest in your life? If you're living over here, this is hard. This is hard. This is sad. This is angry. This is lonely. This is almost at that point where, what was that first card that came out here? This is almost ready to give up on the self. No, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on life. What envision? I would encourage you, if you're living in this energy, I would encourage you to spend some time. What does your most beautiful life look like? What's in it? How does it smell? How does it taste? What is your experience? What does it bring to you? Because it's going to require, if you're here, 100%, it's going to require great strength. And you have it. We're being told you have it. I'm almost feeling that it's up to you to take that wand. I have a wand here. To take that wand, make your wish, and go for it. Stop making excuses for staying stuck. If you are stuck, 100%, you're stuck in here, and this keeps us sick. Mental illness, right? Revisiting, replaying, rehashing. Depression is living in the past. Anxiety is living in the future. Peace and contentment is being present in the moment, which is where all life is lived, which is where past and future merge in the present. So show up for yourself. Observe how you're feeling. Observe how you're speaking to yourself. Observe, observe, observe. And if you made it this far, you're lucky, because we're going to do a little interactive component here. 1, 2, 3, what will it be? 1, 2, 3, what will it be? This is the interactive component of this message. And we're going to get an affirmation. We're going to work with the Louise Hay affirmation cards. 1, 2, 3, what will it be? Okay, so number ones. And I'm feeling like maybe tomorrow evening I might do a live. We can do some chit chat, questions. If you have questions, Felix, if you want to question me, please come back. There's 1, 2. Okay, let's see what 2 is. Dawn's choosing 2. Yeah, I think we'll do our live tomorrow morning at 11:11, and then I would like to also perhaps schedule a live in the evening where we can pull some cards, a little more cash. I can set the mood. I love number 2, number 3, and then there's number 3. And then this is for all of us. Okay. So if you were guided to the number 1, if you chose number 1, here's your message. I turn every experience into an opportunity. Each problem has a solution. All experiences are opportunities for me to learn and grow. I am safe. How beautiful is that, number 1? Perfect. Okay, if you were guided to number 2, here is your message. I deserve the best and accept the best now. I am mentally and emotionally equipped to enjoy a prosperous and loving life. It is my birthright to deserve all good. I claim my good now. Yes, number 2. I love that for you, Dawn. And number 3, here's your message. I am at peace. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell within me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. Sorry. All right, let me try that again. Divine peace and harmony surround me and dwell in me. I feel tolerance, compassion, and love for all people, myself included. And for all of us, as we wrap this up today, thank you, Dawn, so much for your engagement. Thank you so much, Felix, for being here. I hope you come back. And for all of us, it's really important at this time that we let go of expectations, because expectations are premeditated resentments. And this is how so many people stay stuck in karmic loops, right? We expect our partner to show up for us in a certain way, yet we don't communicate the way in which we would like our partner to show up for us. So they fail us and we get disappointed and we get resentful because, oh, they didn't show up how I expected them to show up. And yet we didn't tell them how we needed them to show up. We didn't model we weren't a good example of how we needed them to show up for us, because we always show others how we deserve to be treated, right? So I let go of all expectations. I flow freely and lovingly with life. I love myself. I know that only good awaits me at every turn. And so with that, I'm going to say, I love you all. Thank you all so much for showing up today. I see you, I feel you, I love you, and I'm looking forward to being back here with you tomorrow, probably for a double shot. We'll start at 11:11 a.m. and we'll see how it flows from there. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for your engagement. Dawn, I love you to bits. Thank you so much for showing up and your continued love and support of me, at least a decade long, probably really, truly lifetimes long. I am so grateful for all of you who are here. I want you to know that your presence here is indeed a gift for which I am eternally grateful. And I trust that something here has resonated with you. Perhaps it's sparked some inspiration, and perhaps it's inspired a little irritation too. And if that's the case, I encourage you to look more deeply inside of you. I see you. I feel you. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.